Welcome. My name is James Gilbride, and I'm calling this Exposing the Truth. Basically, the truth of life and what's happening out there and what's not wanting to be showed out there. So, basically, what I'm saying, as I've been hacked in my last account, MBR Inner Heel, which you can go over to Facebook and check that out, and many other accounts like my bank accounts and stuff like that. So, it's calling it exposing the truth. And if you like this material, please just give us a like, share it. I do say share it anyway and let everybody know this kind of stuff because it is beneficial to everyone. So first, let me introduce myself, James Gilbride. I'm making this video in concern of Northern Ireland only because I'm based in Northern Ireland. This goes out to everyone across the world. If you've been in with any government party, had any birth certificates, which was created at birth, obviously, but if you've had a birth certificate created, then it's something that you need to listen to. And I'll make other videos that will go deeper into that and explain that later on. But for now, this is more about the financial side of things and how everyone should have a roof on their head and there should not be one person on the streets. So, I'm making this video in concern of Northern Ireland and the people who live here. Over the past few years, I've been studying law and looking behind the scenes of what we see on the surface level, which I found to be shocking at the least to say. I looked at everything from the stock market, owning of shares, and how that related back to the people. What I came to find was that we, the people, are the creators of absolutely everything. From the stock market, the banks, the products, the importing, the exporting of all. I'm basically running the system. Yet, so why do we have the poor people on the streets while we're running the system? While each of us are equal to one another, there is no one better than anyone else. The value of money or whatever does not make you better than anyone else, or what you do does not make you better than anyone else. We are all God's children and we are equal to each other. So, what I found out as the system operates, there is another system of people benefiting of the work of the people in a controlled manner. What has happened is we get conned into a system like your social system, as in your birth cert, or signing on to social welfare, or just being in that social system, which starts off with a birth certificate. What has happened, we get conned, yes, into the system. So, as I say, in the social security system, and this is all Western side of the world. I'm not too sure when I said about the whole world on the Eastern side because I don't know enough about over there. But on the Western side, if you're signed in to any social or any government parties, you're basically signing your life over to them. So what has happened is we get conned, yes, security signed, all right, so far. And that is to look after our financial affairs. Because back, I forget the year now, the government took the gold off the people, which was used as a trade. So now they have the banks creating the money instead of the gold, where the government holds the gold. So now we use money. So that's where the stock market comes in, creates a value of what you do in your life. With this, it gives them the rights to create contracts with your life basically and what you do in life, which create an amount of energy usage which is sold on the market. Now you've got to understand this, everything is energy. So whatever you're doing in your life is a form of energy, a value that you are creating. Now, depending on what you do in your life will depend on where you scale on the market or where the contract or contracts, as there's more than one, scales on the market. I believe there's 17 at the moment, I think. I'll have to go and recheck that. Then we are valued as you're closed or you're classed as dead. That's from your birth. When your birth certificate's created, your death certificate's created. Where it begins another part of the story. And yeah, that'll be another part of the story I can add later in another video. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead in the financial side and why people shouldn't be on the street. So now we are all on the stock market with a number on our head, which creates an amount of money by value. Now the money is just paper with used as a currency, an exchange, but it has no real value. It's the people, the energy that they're using to move, to do, to create, because we are the people, we create it all. And you've got to understand it was always exchange and bartering that we did. But then the government took that gold, created the money to use as bartering for products, materials, whatever. So now we are all in the stock market with a number on our head, which creates an amount of money that needs to be out there in the system. Now, when I say it needs to be out there in the system, they have to put a value on it. So that money is out in that value in their currency of cash, as we call it, or digital currency coming towards. And to cover that head, but you've got to realize that this is money that they create out of nothing. They can make as much of it as they want. There's no limits to how much they can make. It's just whether they make it or they don't. It's basically a choice. So the banks create enough money to value of what's needed to sustain each head, so to speak. This is where we get a problem, as everyone isn't put in the same value class, which is why we have rich, middle class and poor. Now you could say that's due to who worked or who didn't. There are many factors to look at, and I totally agree with that. But at the end of the day, no matter who did what, who didn't do what, everyone is entitled to a roof over their head and electricity. And I will get to that later on in this, coming to it. Yet it's no excuse why we have people living on the streets. And of course it's not. And recently I've seen Prince Harry or Prince William or vice versa say that this was something Princess Diana wanted to do. And now they're thinking of doing it because there shouldn't be anyone on the streets and they can make that difference. And of course they can make that difference. They've been profiting off the people. They're part of the problem. Now, I'm not saying them as a person, but them as a family, the royal family, have been profiting off the people. And yet you have the people going out there supporting them like there's something special. Well, I suppose they are. They're the ones that have been putting you through hell in your life because you haven't been able to provide for your children or have electric for your home or heating or a roof over your head. They've been part of the problem. Yet it's no excuse why we have people on the streets. What has God created is power with the rich, who have used the power of contract law through companies to control and running of this setup, in that they have taken control of the actual government parties and turned them into businesses or corporations for profiting off the people. Where before these government parties in the counties were to look after the people. Like when you think of police officers, they go and stop you on the road to try to give you fines and prosecute you for things like speeding. But if there was no actual harm done or offence committed, then why are they there doing that? They're there to help you by law, but that is not what they're doing. They're actually profiting off you and going out to put you in a situation, putting up road signs, speed limits in areas to catch you. But that's not their duty. That was not their duty working in these government parties. But now, as businesses, they're doing this and profiting off the people working for the DVLA. Now, I've come at police officers and said it and said they're not, but how can you say that you're not if you're giving people fines where they have to pay it to the DVLA or go to the courts? And the courts, another part of it. But that can be all explained in other videos. As we are all, right, so government, power acting of the people, countries to look after the people. Yeah, so they were to look after the people. As we are all equal and should be valued in the same way. No matter what you have, what you don't have, we are all God's children and we should be seen the same way. And yet you have the councils sold out to the corporations. So all these councils are sold out to corporations. And then you've got the example of electricity companies that have also sold out to corporations and created offspring companies as they become a company, which leads me to entitlement of the people. Now, entitlement of the people, you're gonna, if you want to find out more information on this, I'll probably do videos on it if you like this kind of material, and go to the Human Rights Act and read it, and you will see, well, I'll go into it. With these companies now out for money and no counties or government parties on the side of the people, they are committing unlawful activities. Now, what I mean by unlawful activities is they've created their own laws in their system, but it's unlawful in the law. They've got a legal system, not a lawful system, and their legal system is unlawful. As when all was set up and in place for the people, every single person was entitled to a roof over their head and electricity to live off. Now we have people on the streets and others who get it hard to pay the bills. Now, obviously, this is a short report and there's a lot more to it. But as I say, if you like this kind of material, I will add more videos and please do share. It's worth giving to other people whether you think it's a good video or not, I don't care. It's just the material that's within the video. So people can go and check this out for themselves. And if we come together as a people, then we can change this and make that difference and get everybody balanced, let's say, so we don't have people on the streets, and we don't have the hardship of life that is unnecessary. But what I'm asking is for people to take notice, and to the people who are in place to make a difference, to step up to the table and make that difference. Because if you don't, and you're in that position to make a difference, then what's that say about you and your values? Never mind what you value about other people outside of you, like just yourself. That's all I ask you to do, is to think about that. You really have to value yourself, to recognize others and value others. But if you're just ignoring things, then what are you doing that for? Is it for the love of the money, the love of the control? That's not what we're here for. We're here as equal parties. We're all companies of ourselves to look after, which is being created outside of us, as if we're unimportant. And there's people out there that can make that difference, and I'm asking you to, if you're in that position, to step up to the table and make that difference, because it would be a great help to the people. You would be, instead of ignoring it. And if you don't, you're part of the problem. Because you see it, but not willing to do anything about it. There should not be one person on the street. There shouldn't even be a financial problem. It's the problem when the rich decide to control the people, where you're not valued as a person. And even if you are, we will have you working to secure our bank accounts or our pockets. Now, that's not all rich. As I was saying before, some people have worked hard to get to where they're at, and you've got to respect that. Some people have just bummed it on the street and lost everything, but not everyone that's on the street has done that. So you can't put everybody into categories. At the end of the day, we're all people, and we should be all seen the same way, equal. So that's my report for the day. If you like the report and would like more, please like and share. I'm James Gilbride, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. And if it's not, try and make it one. It's a way of thinking, feeling, being. Thank you for watching.